Alright guys, hello and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. I just want to start off by saying sorry that I didn't get my Tutorial Tuesday out last week. It was just exam week and I was really busy. I managed to get the Speed Art Sunday out because I literally just had a few, half an hour spare. So I just quickly did the background and rendered it out and just uploaded it overnight, clicked over upload and went to bed. Had an exam the next day. So yeah. Just wanted to get that apology out of the way. But we're back in Tutorial Tuesday now, and I'm going to try to get back in the flow of doing them every Tuesday. That's how it should work, and that's how it will work. Today I'm going to show you how to do a nice punch through the wall effect. That's what I'm going to call it, but I can't really think of anything else to call it. I suppose it kind of looks like shot through the wall, but I'm not sure really. But it's a very nice effect. If you don't know what I mean, skip to the end of the video and you'll see. But anyway, let's just go straight into it. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to unlock this background, because you can see it's locked here by this little padlock. So to unlock it, I just want to right click and layer from background and click OK, and there you go, that's unlocked. So now go to the color picker and I'm just going to want to do a very dark grey. That's about right. Go to the paint bucket tool and boom, paint bucket, done. Very nice. So the next thing I want to be doing is creating a new layer. I'm just going to drag this underneath layer 0, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to, again with my paint bucket tool, I'm going to get a very light grey and I'm going to click on it. You won't be able to see it because it's underneath it in a minute, but that's fine. All will become revealed later on. So click back on layer 0. Now I want to go to Google Images and I want to type something along the lines of paint splatter. There you go. And you want to find one that's just a basic JPEG like this, not an actual picture. A basic JPEG, and you want one with only one colour in it, that's just one very simple, one point of view picture. So this is no good because it's different colours and it's just one big crazy splatter. It doesn't look like, you've got to imagine it's something that's shot through a wall. So you can imagine that that's like something that's shot through a wall. You can't see it too well at the minute, but believe me, it will. Then right click, copy image, and use Ctrl and V to paste it into here. Now click this tool here and you want to be shrinking this while holding shift. That's going to maintain the aspect ratio, so you're not going to be stretching the image and making it funny shapes and whatever else. This is just going to change the size. Wow, this is huge. This is just going to, that's not what she said. This is just going to change the size. I think I actually have squished it a bit there because it was meant to be like a square, so I think that's about right, but it doesn't matter too much because it's not exactly like a plain shape. So there you go. And I'm actually going to increase the size of that a little more. Something like that. That looks fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this magic wand tool. It's underneath, it'll probably look like that. Just click on it, hold it, click, and move along to magic wand tool, and you'll get this little tool that looks like a sparkler. Now click on the main black body of this, or whatever colour you've picked, this main body of the thing, and it's just going to dot around the main body like I've said, apart from bits that are not connected. So this bit hasn't got dots around it because it's not connected to the main body. So to get these bits you want to hold shift and just click on them individually like this. Don't get too crazy with it, you don't want too many because it's going to start looking silly. So just get a few to make it look like there's been a little bit of spray and get the main bits. But you don't want too many because it is going to look silly. That's going to be enough for me. I don't want bits too far out. Then I'm going to go back to layer 0 and I'm going to just click delete. And as you can see there on the thumbnail, that's just deleted the area that I've selected. It's cleared it out from the background. So now I'm going to click on this and just click off so that it's got rid of the highlighted area. I'm going to go to layer 2 and I'm just going to click delete again, and that's just going to delete the layer. So you can see now I've got this hole in the wall effect. I've got a hole in the layer 0 and you can see that this layer is behind it. But at the minute it doesn't actually look like there's a hole in the wall, it just looks like there's a splatter on it when you look at it. So to change this you want to right click on layer 0 and go up to blending options. This is going to open up. You want to click bevel and emboss. You want to follow these settings pretty closely, but you can change it and switch it about as you would like. So bevel and emboss. On the technique you want to change this to chisel soft. I'm going to decrease the depth to about 75%. These numbers don't have to be accurate. I want to change the highlight mode to 55%-ish. About 50% will do. And that's just going to take the glare off it a little bit. I'm going to go to drop shadow, and I'm going to increase the spread to 30-ish and the size to 60-ish. Again, these numbers don't matter. You can change these depending on the size of your document. My document is 1280 by 720, so it's very big. So this in itself will actually be about 500 by 600, and yeah, 500 by 600. So it's big, whereas yours might only be 50 by 100 or something like that. You get the idea. So you just want to change it as you do. Then I'm going to go to inner shadow, and I'm going to increase the choke to about 25% and the size to about 50 pixels roughly. Again, change these as you will. Now what you can do is you can add a pattern overlay to this to make it look good. Download patterns off the internet, just type in pattern packs, you know, they'll come up somewhere, and you get all sorts of different ones. These are my personal favourites, I just think they look very good. But you can pick whichever one you'd like. I'm going to go for a plain and simple one. So something like that will look fine for me. I'm just going to change the opacity a little bit, and that looks fine. You don't have to do that, that's not a must, but I just think it increases the effect a little bit. So you can see now that with the addition of this, it does look like there's been a hole punched in this wall, and you can see behind it. But as you can see, because I've added these effects, this sort of weird shape things have started appearing. So to remove these, I'm going to go to the eraser tool. I want to make sure the hardness is at 100, and just make sure the size is at whatever size you need to do the job. So this is about right. And I'm just going to start removing these weird edges that we don't want. So just going to start clicking around, just getting rid of these strange edges that are looking weird. I'm going to open that up a little bit, and that should be fine really. I don't want it too perfect, too neat, too tidy, because after all this is just a hole being punched in the wall, you know what I mean. So that's looking good for me. I'm just gonna reduce that down a little bit. Now what I want to do is I want to make something go into the background, because at the minute it's just plain in the background, isn't it? So what I want is I want like a sort of chrome mesh effect in the background. So I'm going to go to layer 1, which is the behind layer. I'm going to right click, blending options, and this is going to open again. Now same as before, pattern overlay. Again, you're going to have to go and download some patterns. I don't know what the pattern is, the pattern pack is called. I'm not sure. I can only imagine it would be something along the lines of chrome or mesh, something along the lines of that. But I'm going to use this one here. It's called Hex Metal Mesh. It's 33 pixels by whatever. That doesn't matter. Just click on it and you'll get this. Now, this is a little bright and a little too in your face for me at the minute, because remember, imagine there was a light shining from where you're sat. The light would be shining on all these areas around here, and not so much on here. Yeah, it would be shining on here, but not as much. So I'm just going to go on blend mode here and darken, and that's just going to decrease the lightness a little bit. You can change the opacity, that sometimes makes it darker, but in this case it just makes it lighter and it makes it look silly. So I'm going to leave that at 100% and I'm going to hit OK. Now, actually I'm not a big fan of that, so I'm going to leave it, sorry, just ignore me there. Now, while layer 1 is selected, you want to click on the new layer button twice, and that's just going to put 2 new layers between layer 1 and layer 0, because you want it below layer 0 and you want it above layer 1, so it's squished between the two. Now on layer 2, you want to go to the brush tool, and you want to change the size to something that'll work, and the hardness is 0. Make sure it is at 0. When I say something that'll work, get it so that it's about that perspective. I wouldn't say, I was going to say 130-ish there, like 130, but like I said, if your splatter is only 200 pixels, then 130 is going to be stupidly big. So just decrease it so that the scale is about that. You can see there it looks a bit like a fried egg if I put it in the middle. Now I'm going to change the colour of this to black, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill in all the nooks and crannies around here, so all the sticky out bits. I don't want to be filling in the middle bit too much, so I don't want to be splattering it in the middle there. I just want to be go around the nooks and crannies. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in a bit. So I'm going to go right around these edges. I don't want to go too much in because it's going to start looking silly, but just go right around the edges there. Now I'm going to decrease the opacity to about 50%. Then I'm going to do the same on layer 3. I'm going to go around the nooks and crannies as I did before, like this. There we are. And I'm just going to bring it in again like I did before, but I'm not going to come in as much as I did last time. So there we go, something like that. It's going to look nice. Then I'm going to decrease the opacity again, but this time only to about 60%. And that is it. That is quite literally all you have to do to get this punched in the wall technique. It looks very effective and looks very nice. You can use these on backgrounds, you can use these on wallpapers, whatever you please. It does look very good and very effective. So I hope this helped you guys. If it did help you, please subscribe, and also just let me know as well, because it's always nice to know that it's worked for people, you know what I mean? So subscribe if you want to see more. Definitely comment, like, to let me know what other tutorials you want to see. If you're having Photoshop problems, just let me know and I will get some more tutorials out for you. So that's literally all I've got for you today, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Sorry, I'm just mucking around now. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.